Hello and welcome to Digesting the Soul. Today I'm going to talk about the numerous benefits of drinking Guayusa tea. Now, Guayusa is a caffeinated holly tree that's native to the Amazon rainforest, and Ecuador is currently its largest producer. And the leaves from this tree are not only consumed for their stimulating and energizing effects, much like coffee, but also for their overall health benefits, including weight loss. And in addition, from a metaphysical perspective, this tea is known to promote lucid dreaming and also potentially induce out-of-body experiences. And towards the end of this video, I am going to share with you my experiences with both from drinking this tea. So to first just give you a little bit of history and background about Guayusa, for hundreds, if not thousands of years, indigenous tribes in the Amazon rainforest have considered Guayusa a sacred medicine plant. And they harvest the large glossy leaves and they roll them and then they would dry them. And then the dry leaves are steeped in hot water to make a tea-like beverage. And the tribes have a daily ritual of rising before dawn to prepare this tea. So in particular, during my research, the Quechua tribe in Ecuador is known to have this daily routine. And basically everybody rises before dawn, say 4 a.m., they prepare the tea, and everybody drinks in the tribe, including children. So although they consider it a sacred medicine plant, it's not just reserved for medicine man or shamans. So after everybody has drank a cup of the tea, they then all go back to sleep. And Guayusa has been nicknamed by them the night watchman, and this is due to its ability for you to remain alert in your dream state, hence a lucid dream, and then also to have the ability to recall the dream upon waking. So when all of the members wake up again, they gather around a fire to share and help each other interpret their dreams. And they believe that these dreams are providing symbolic guidance and messages for their day ahead. And in addition to using it for dreaming, they also, like Americans drink coffee, drink this tea for energy as it is a stimulant. And they'll often consume larger amounts or bring it with them when they're traveling or say when they're going out for a longer hunting expedition. So now I just want to take you in the kitchen because I want to show you the tea that I've been drinking. So I've set up some brewed tea so you can see what it looks like. And the brand that I've been drinking is from a company called Runa. And to be honest, I chose this brand simply out of convenience because it was available at my local health food store and I didn't have to order online. But there are many online vendors and you can even purchase it in loose leaf form, so you can use a tea diffuser and use the amount that you would like. I personally like that these are wrapped individually. I think it keeps them fresher longer, and it's also easier to transport packages. And as you can see, it really does look like black tea. It has a similar taste to black tea, but maybe a little bit of sweetness behind it with like a taste of lemon. This is the traditional flavor that I prefer, but there are many other flavors that you can get in this tea. And I like to drink it both iced and hot. And typically what I'll do is, I am a coffee person, so I have my coffee in the morning, but in the afternoon, if I need a pick-me-up, I will brew like a 12 or 16 ounce glass of it. And I really let the tea bag steep for at least 10 to 15 minutes. I like it really strong. And I will drink about half of it, and then I will pour the rest in a tumbler like this, which is really worked out great because then I refrigerate this, and if I'm going to be drinking the tea that night to experience lucid dreaming, I can just take it out of the fridge and set it by my nightstand, and it's completely enclosed and covered. No dust is going to get into it. It's less likely to spill, and then when you're half asleep in the middle of the night, you have this nice straw. So that's worked out great. The really interesting thing about this tea is that it doesn't have tannins like black tea. So if you're sensitive, if it upsets your stomach, you won't have those side effects with this tea. Now, the reason why I gave you a little bit of the history about what indigenous tribes do to prepare and drink this tea is that when you look online, you'll see that they'll say you have to set a cup of this tea next to your bedside, go to sleep, and then try to wake up in the middle of the night and drink it, and then go back to sleep so you can experience a lucid dream. So fortunately, I naturally do wake up in the middle of the night, so I don't necessarily drink it at 4 a.m. It might be 1, 2 in the morning. But if it's something that you're not used to doing, then just go ahead and you can set your alarm at least an hour or two before you're going to wake up for the day. Now, there are a lot of health benefits and interesting facts about this tea, as I mentioned earlier. So I just quickly want to go over a little bit of science about this, and then I'll get to my personal experiences with this tea. But as I mentioned, this tea is often compared to green tea, and that is simply because it is very, very high in antioxidants, and it's really providing a very potent anti-inflammation drink. And if you don't know, antioxidants are just simply photochemicals, which is a naturally occurring plant chemical that's known to protect human cells from the damage caused by free radicals. Another thing that is unique about this tea is that it contains chlorogenic acid, and this is also a photochemical, and it has been researched for its ability to aid in weight loss, and it slows down the body's absorption of fat. And if you remember a few years ago, Dr. Oz created a craze about the green bean or the green coffee bean extract craze, and that also has chlorogenic acid in it. And at that time, the research was showing that it was thought to provide assistance with obesity, diabetes, and high blood pressure. So the next thing that's really unique about this tea is that it contains theobromine, and this comes from a Greek word meaning food of the gods, and that's because this substance is found in cocoa, in particular dark chocolate. And this is known as a feel-good substance due to its ability for mood-elevating effects. And what's unique about theobromine is that it acts as a stimulant, energizing your nervous system, while at the very same time exerting a calming effect on your brain. And what it's doing is widening your blood vessels, which is reducing your blood pressure. And theobromine is unlikely to cause the jitters and the shakes, which can happen when you overconsume coffee. And this does also have stimulant and diuretic effects, and this is why this is also touted to assist people with weight loss, because it's boosting the metabolism and you're shedding water weight, and in addition it's suppressing your appetite. And then just lastly, L-theanine is also an amino acid, and this is found primarily in black, green, and white teas. And this is an amino acid that produces dopamine, which is also known as the feel-good hormone. And this is what sends feelings of well-being and pleasure into your body. And L-theanine is also known to produce a calming effect, at the same time that it improves your ability for recall, increases your concentration and alertness. And in my research, I found that clinical trials of L-theanine promoted relaxation, specifically because it increased the alpha brain waves, which are associated with a relaxed yet an alert and focused brain activity. And you'll see many companies out there will promote L-theanine as a stress relief supplement. So you can see that there are a lot of feel-good chemistry within this tea, and the very specific things of being a stimulant to help you remain alert, yet also very relaxing and a feel-good side effect, why this tea would be so conducive to experiencing lucid dreams and or out-of-body experiences. So now to the part probably all of you have been waiting for, experiences with lucid dreaming and out-of-body flights. So first, let me just define lucid dreaming. And basically, a lucid dream is any type of dream in which you become aware that you're dreaming. It's simple as that. And usually you have the ability to consciously observe events, if not even control the events that are occurring in your dream. And I think lucid dreaming is just so intriguing to people because in essence, it's transforming your inner dream world into a living alternate reality. And in lucid dreams, everything that you see, you hear, you feel, you taste, and even smell is as authentic and as real as your daily waking life. And one of the defining differences between a lucid dream and your average dream is that upon waking, when you recall it, you absolutely feel like you had that experience, like it was no different than a real experience that occurs in your everyday life. And two really good examples I'll give you about my lucid dreaming. Ones that shows how fantastical they can be, and one that was pretty mundane. So please note that lucid dreaming doesn't mean that every dream is gonna be totally amazing. Sometimes they're kind of just like everyday occurrences that you're dreaming. You're just vividly alert and aware while having the dream. So one of the first dreams that I had was there's a particular musician that I really admire, and I had a lucid dream that I wanted to get to his concert and that I could meet them backstage, and I got to see all of the musical equipment, and I had a conversation. And it was amazing, this is to say the least. But what was really interesting is this musician is no longer alive. But upon waking, I was just, exhilarated that I had had this lucid dream. And again, it does feel like I actually had this experience, that I was at that event and did meet this person. Now, another really interesting lucid dream that occurred was one where I was in my closet. And in my real life, I had on my to-do list to put together some outfits because I had some events and I'd be traveling to in the future, and I had put this off. So one night I had a lucid dream that I went into my own closet and I systematically began trying on outfits, my own clothes. And when I woke up, I really had to laugh about that because in essence, you are in an alternate reality, and where you can experience things that you can't in your waking life. And in this instance, I was trying to complete a task that had been on my mind. So every time I have drank the tea in the middle of the night, every time I have been able to have a lucid dream. And I don't know, I know this is only my personal experience. I can't say what it will be like for other people. I am a person who sometimes go through phases where I don't have dreams, but there are other times I have experienced a lot of lucid dreams. In fact, I am considered psychically what people would call a dreamer. And basically what that means is that I do have the ability to have dreams that actually come true. And this is something that I started to experience with great intensity when I was around the age of 18. And I didn't know what to make of it. And it's something that I can't control. It can happen randomly. It can happen once a year or every other year, or it can happen 5 times in a year. And through the years, as I've worked with spiritual healers and spiritual readers, this is something that they brought up again and again, unsolicited from me, that I do have this ability. So I'm not sure if that plays a role in any way of why I am so successful upon drinking this tea to have a successful lucid dream, but I just wanted to share that. And on another front, I just wanted to share with you my experiences regarding out-of-body experience and how I actually came to find Guayusa tea was a little backwards. One night I found that I was flying towards the top of my ceiling in my dining room. And my dining room is sort of an octagon shape. And I remember just being elated and having fun and using my hands to push off the sides of the ceiling and the wall. I was floating, kind of reminds me, if you've ever seen Willy Wonka, when they drink the fuzzy lifting drink and they're at the top of the dome. ceiling, and it was much like that. And what uniquely happened was the phone rang, and I was in an instant catapulted back into my body in the bed. And I'll tell you, I was livid. The dream was so amazing and exhilarating and exciting that I was just livid with the person on the phone, probably sounding like a crazy person, saying I was floating and like you woke me up and I'm in my body. And it was just such a memorable experience that I wanted to experience again, that I started doing research on the internet, and that's how I actually came across Guayusa tea, because people are saying that it could potentially induce out-of-body experiences. So I purchased it and started consuming it in the middle of the night, and once more, I've only had 2 out-of-body experiences. Once more, I did have another out-of-body experience. This time, I found myself in my bedroom, and I have very tall double doors in my bedroom, and for some reason, I was having difficulty going through the doors, and I think this frustration led me to wake up. And I'm not quite sure why that one wasn't as successful, because as you know, when you're having out-of-body experiences, you can go anywhere and do anything. You can go through the roof, you can fly through the galaxy, you should be able to do anything. I am hopeful as I continue to drink this tea that I will have a third out-of-body experience. So please, if you have had some really exciting or unusual experiences drinking this tea, I would love for you to share them with me. And if you have any questions about it, please do email me. I'd be happy to respond. And so as always, I'm wishing everybody great health and all the best, and I'll see you in my next video.